Hey friends, I'm Shelly. Welcome back to my channel. We all know that getting a toddler to eat is something that is a super difficult task, and it can be like trying to feed a dragon. I am by no means an expert. I'm just a mom that got her kid to eat all the foods, and so I'd like to share with you all of my tips and tricks. So if you want to find out how I get my toddler to eat absolutely everything, then this video is for you. Just keep watching. So the first thing that I did to get my toddler to eat, well, to get my baby to eat in general, was to prepare. So if you guys have been with me for a while, you'll know that I am a huge research junkie. I love going down the rabbit hole of the internet and just finding out everything that I can about any specific topics. And then I like to put it into a video and make them for you guys so I can share all of my wealth of information with you as well. So the first thing I would suggest is read all the blogs you can, follow all the Instagram accounts that you can. Just prepare before your baby, after your baby, before your baby's even eating. There are two Instagram accounts that I really enjoyed following. One is Feeding Littles, and the other one is Kids Eat in Color, and I will link them down below in the description box for you. I also made Pinterest boards of all the infographics that I could find and just really set myself up for success. The next thing that I did was start early. So at 4 months, my doctor said that it was fine to start giving Luna solids, so I started her right away on the solids. We first started with the baby oatmeal and rice cereal, and then every 3 or 4 days I would give her a new food. So I started with all the vegetables first to make sure she didn't get a big taste for sugar and then not want to eat the vegetables. So we started with vegetables first. And once she had tried all the vegetables, then I started making them again, but this time I would add a spice to them. So I would make carrots with rosemary, or I would put basil with peas or thyme, and just introduce her to new flavors all the time, so she never knew what she was expecting and she was always trying something new. Once she was able to eat everything and I found out she had no allergies, and what I did was try different textures and also started adding like spicy spices to things so that she would just open up her palate to everything. So my third step to get your toddler to eat anything is to keep trying. Sometimes it takes about 30 times of introducing a new food before your baby will actually eat it. And I know I've told you guys that she eats absolutely everything, but there is one thing that she will not touch, and that is eggs. Not so surprisingly, I also don't eat eggs. When I was pregnant, I did eat them. I forced myself to eat them because I didn't want her to have an egg allergy, and I thought that that would be the best way to prevent that. But she came out and she just will not touch eggs. We've tried giving them to her in every single form, and she just really does not like eggs, and that's fine because she eats absolutely everything else. Now I'm going to share with you guys all of my rules for when it comes to meal times. So the first rule that I have is that dessert always goes on the plate with the rest of her food. I found this very helpful because she doesn't idolize dessert. If I tell her we can have more of that later, then she's okay with it because she knows she can have it. It's not something that I hold back from her, so she automatically wants it, because you know, if you say no to something, they automatically want it. My next rule is that I do not make her eat anything that's on her plate. I do this because I don't want to associate like negativity with her having to eat, and so I don't make her eat anything at all. The next rule is that I will not make something else if she doesn't eat what's on her plate. I will save her plate for later. If she still doesn't eat it then she can have a glass of milk, and that's it until the next meal or snack time. I read that it's important to do this because they need to understand the feeling of being hungry, and if they're hungry, they will eat. If they're not hungry, they won't eat. So this is something that I try to instill in her, and most of the time she does eat everything that I put on her plate. Another rule that I have is that I always put one thing on her plate that I know she's going to like. So if I want to introduce her to something new, like say Brussels sprouts, I will put Brussels sprouts on the plate, but I will also give her like mac and cheese so that I know there's at least something on the plate that she will like, and she can try the Brussels sprouts, she cannot try the Brussels sprouts, but I leave that up to her. My next rule is if she wants more of something that is on her plate, I will give her more within reason. If there are like chocolate chips on her plate and she keeps asking for chocolate chips but not eating anything else, obviously I'm not going to continue giving her chocolate chips. But If we have, say, mac and cheese and then a side of like peas and carrots, and she eats all of her peas and carrots but doesn't touch her mac and cheese, but she still wants more peas and carrots, I will continue giving them to her. And lastly, I just want to reiterate what I said before. She chooses how much she wants to eat. And when they're babies especially, once they start pushing their plates away or they attempt to turn their plates over, that's a sign that the baby or the toddler is finished eating and they don't want any more. I don't try to force it any more than that. I take the plate right away, I clean her up, and then I take her out of her high chair, and that's the end of mealtime. So just to go over my 4 steps again, the first one is to prepare. Prepare as much as you can, read all the things, follow all the people, and just get ready for the battle that is to come. The second thing is to start early. Start as early as you possibly can with your kids. The more you give them earlier on, the greater chance you have of their palate being wide open to trying new things. The third step, again, is to keep trying. Don't get frustrated. They will eat when they're hungry. The fourth thing is to make yourself a list of rules and follow them. Always follow through with your kids because that's the only way that they learn consistency. I really hope I was able to give you guys some insight as to how I got my toddler to eat. I hope these tips and tricks can help you guys get your toddlers to eat some things. Please leave me a comment down below to let me know if you've tried any of these tips or tricks, to let me know if any of these have worked with your kids, or if you have any other tips and tricks that I might be able to share with the rest of the YouTube community. Like I said before, give this video a thumbs up if you like these types of videos. Subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube family. You can follow me over on Instagram at mrs.shelly.shoosh, and I will catch up with you guys next week in a new video. Bye!